I'm Matt Bishar with REIT.com here in New York City for REITWeek 2014. Joining me for this CEO Spotlight is Alan Gold, the Chairman and CEO of BioMed Realty Trust. Alan, thanks so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
And this marks BioMed's 10th anniversary, and your experience in the life science real estate business goes further than that. What have been the biggest changes you've seen in this market, and what does it take to keep BioMed on the cutting edge for its tenants?
Well, those are two interesting questions, and let's start with the first one. And the first one is the history of BioMed, and it is a much longer one than the 10 years of BioMed Realty Trust, because we started working on this business model back in 1994, and we developed the business model, founded a company, focused on scientific research laboratories, and then continued that same business model with BioMed Realty Trust. And it's a really unique business model. It's an exciting business model in the sense that it hasn't changed since the very beginning. In that we're focused on acquiring scientific research laboratories, and those laboratory buildings that are in our core markets, where there's centers of scientific innovation and a tremendous amount of demand for those buildings. And then your second question about what keeps us on the leading edge, it's really our people. We have some of the brightest, strongest, most dedicated individuals focused on creating optimal spaces for our tenants and building really long-lasting and enduring relationships with our tenants, and helping our tenants grow and create those really life-saving and life-extending therapies that this country and our population really wants.
And your core life science markets are anchored by a strong academic institution in conjunction with a strong, thriving private market. Are there any emerging markets in this space where you might be looking to expand?
Yeah. That's an interesting question, because there's a lot of existing markets where where institutions, innovative institutions exist, and we consider those existing markets which we haven't yet entered. We enter the markets in San Diego, where you have UCSD, and in San Francisco, where you have Stanford University, and Cambridge, where you have Harvard and MIT. And we believe those institutions have generated tremendous amount of new innovation and new technologies. And we believe that there are other markets that have that same sort of opportunity. And we're exploring those other markets, and we believe that they exist.
And lastly, can you talk a little bit about your development and redevelopment pipeline? And is there a greater need to sort of reinvigorate your existing assets, sort of based on how your tenants are, constantly evolving?
That's the really fantastic thing about our business model, is we've created high quality buildings and high quality locations that are reusable, releasable by a variety of different tenants, by creating tremendously robust infrastructure that the tenants can reuse with new tenants and as we grow with the existing tenants. Your question also really speaks to the future of what's happening in the life science industry, and we really believe we're at the first inning of some really exciting new innovations and new technologies. And we believe that BioMed Realty is well positioned to help our tenants grow and expand and achieve those life-saving successes.
Great. Well, we can't wait to hear how the rest of the innings play out.
Thank you.
For more on this and other real estate news and analysis, be sure to visit REIT.com.